What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's Woosah Wednesday. You guys already know what that means. That's Greenleaf, Season 2, Episode 12, House Rules, okay? First of all, sorry. I apologize for the dry look. I apologize that the video is late. I am 100 miles of running this week. So again, forgive me for this video being late. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I promise you will not regret it. We kill it over here with the details, with the comments, with our own perspectives on each and every show. You will not regret joining Miss Honey's tribe. I promise you, to my ride or die, my honeybees, my tribe. Mwah. Y'all know how we do. Hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to comment down below. This was a good episode. Let's do it. Three major things are happening in this episode. Skanks made a speech about inclusion. Everybody's up in arms about it. Rachel Cross situation is heating up nicely. And Bishop and Lady May, they old heads, but they show you young heads how the game is played. Let's get into it, you guys. Skanks has made this huge sermon. It's viral. Darius is there. The church is packed out. He does a 2-hour sermon and then does an article. It's all about inclusion, including homosexuals, and welcome them in the church. And not only is he talking about for his church, but he's sort of shaming some other churches and not taking those steps too. One of the churches he tries to shame real nice and shade real nice is Triumph, which Bishop is not feeling. He is not having that. So the next morning when him and Lady May are reading the paper and they talking over, they like, why he got Triumph name in his mouth? Why is he talking about that? What he know about what Triumph do with homosexuals? Did Darius interview Carlton? Well, Charity's like, well, I don't know. He never said anything to me. And Grace is like, I'll find out for you. Okay. And her daddy and her mama give her a couple of 2-3 more, ribs about the fact that she seems so enamored with Basie Skanks. But like she says, it is the message that I'm interested in, not Basie Skanks. Okay. And I don't understand why he doesn't have a right to express his opinion and welcome people in if that's what he wants to do. So, of course, Bishop and Lady May, they stay applauding. And Bishop decides he's going to go over and have a conversation, okay, with Skanks. Okay, let's go ahead and break Grace on down. Grace is still defending Skanks. You know, his theories of inclusion, they pissing Bishop and Lady May off, but she's happy about it. And this is something she wants Triumph to do as well. She's now the new outreach director since Kevin is gone, and she has an opportunity to go through his hard drive, his computer, as well as his office, the things in his office. And she learns quite a bit about him. She learns that he went to this program that was supposed to turn him straight, and he took the Ipecac and all of this other stuff. And her heart starts to really, really go out to Kevin and others that much more, because she realizes that he sat under Bishop for all of those years, hearing that God is love, but he wasn't treated that way once they discovered who he truly was. And I'm glad we're having this conversation. She and Bishop, when she learns all this, she goes to the office and talks to Bishop, and she shows him, and they have a really, really good conversation. And she held his feet to the fire, and he basically said, I don't know. I don't even know what I believe myself. When you've been taught something year after year for many, many generations, not just as a church, but as a people, it's not as easy. And I understood his point too. His point is, it's not going to happen overnight that people just going to say, okay, welcome on homosexuals. We have to have understanding just as much as they have to have understanding. And Grace is not accepting that. She is just like, no, somebody's got to be brave. Why is it just Basie Skanks? We need to jump into the deep end of the pond too. And they both just agree to disagree. He does agree that facility or that program that Kevin went through was no good, and he does agree that he is going to think about it a little bit more. What else can they ask for? Especially bringing Kevin into it kind of brought it home for Bishop. He was like family to us. And to think about him out there feeling like he doesn't have the love of God It must be very, very difficult, you know. Charity comes in to talk to Grace as Grace is unpacking boxes, and she tells her these are Kevin boxes, and Charity kind of half-hearted apologizes. She's really there because she wants Grace to babysit for her. Grace got a date with Darius, all right, dinner date with Darius, but she gonna push it back a little bit and babysit her nephew. And I like this little moment between her and Charity when Darius comes in and he's like, "Hey, you ready for dinner?" And she's just like, about dinner." And she tells him she's trying to get closer to Charity and show that she cares a little bit more to Charity, and she's gonna watch, little Nathan. Would he mind? Let's get some dinner and have it at the house. And he's like, cool, cool, cool. But on his face, he is just like, I'm go- really? I was kind of hoping I could get you to dinner, a couple glasses of wine, and take you back, what I'm saying, to my place. Come on over to my place. Yeah. Come on over. Come on over to my place. Yeah, come on over. Ooh. Yes, 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 yes. Anyway, um, he doesn't say anything later on. They get a chance to um babysit brother Nathan as well as have dinner there. Um and they get into this conversation, and she, about if she ever has company there. And I mean, all signs are heading pointed towards the fact that he wants to do the dough. He's ready to take the relationship to that next level, and she is acting so oblivious. So he is just like, So she interjects, and she wants to know if he interviewed Carlton. He says yes. Well, the thing of it is, it's no big deal, but you didn't interview my dad either. He was like, listen, I thought we were going to keep this whole thing separate. What I do, business, and what goes on with the church is separate. I thought that's what we were going to do. Now, he is talking about church business and his journalism, but he's also talking about the fact that she's also got this wall up between the two of them where they can get, a little bit more intimate. Y'all remember about 3 or 4 episodes ago, she was sleeping in the bedroom and he slept on the couch. So she is really trying not to get them goods up like she did with the security officer. Season 1, you thought I forgot, didn't you, Grace? No, the saints be lurking, and they know, Grace. Anyway, so um yeah, I mean, it turns into this argument where he tells her, you know, "Uh, these are the boundaries you set up. Now I'm respecting these boundaries, and you trying to pick a fight with me about it. You trying to do whatever you can to keep us from moving forward and growing in this relationship." She was like, wait a minute, wait a minute. You pull up too, and you do this too, and you never even told me why you don't even go to church. I don't know a whole lot about you, and that stunt you pulled about going to New York, don't think that was lost on me. And he was like, you know what? Let's take a break. I was like, I think we did this before already, right? Didn't we take a break already last season? Huh? 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 Anyway, he leaves her high and dry. Later on, when she cuddled down in the bed, he calls her and tells her he out front. Now, I'm telling y'all, it's nothing nicer than a man to come see you and just tell you to step outside for a minute. He just want to talk to you for a minute. Oh, it's so romantical. It really is. So anyway, he finally tells her, and you could just tell by the way she hugs up on him and loves him, and she does like him and she cares for him, but she okay with it being in this zone because she is not in that mind space right now. She's still not sleeping. She still got all these other things in her head, and Darius is just getting physical with Darius is just not a priority for her right now. But she does have affection for him. He tells her the story about why he stopped going to church because he had a wife and she was killed in a car accident. And after the funeral, he asked his pastor why. Why did this happen? And the pastor told him it's best not to question God. And he said from that day forward, he never went back to church because I guess he felt like, if I can't talk to him, if I can't question, if I can't ask him no questions, what's the point? Like, how is the relationship? So that was Grace when he told her and got on up and walked off, and she said, well, getting ready to walk off, and she said, will I ever see you again? He said, well, do you want to see me again? And she was like, I sure hope so. And he was like, well, you will then. I was like, oh, I still got my good eye on you, Darius. I'm still watching you, okay? Okay, so let's talk about some real cute little sweet innocent things real fast and easy peasy things, and then we're gonna get to our heavy hitters. Let's talk about Charity. Uh Charity's vagina is on a low hum. Okay, it is constantly kicking off energy. All right. She can barely walk straight. Now, in her own head, it's like hearing her own sinuses. It sounds so loud. And all she wants is Jabari to make a move, to say one way or other that he won't be her boyfriend. Like, so she could just jump his bones and get him the goods. Basically, she wants Jabari to say, I want you back. And for whatever reason, Jabari is being aloof. He kind of baby stepping her down a little bit. She feels it, but he's not necessarily owning up to it and admitting it. I could see why she's like, he likes me, and then she's like, oh, we're just friends. But no, I think he likes me, but no, we're just friends. Because he's just not giving her what she wants. She does he gives her this little system that is meant to make demos anytime, anywhere, and she's like, well, you don't want me to come to Tennessee anymore. He was like, no, 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 not that I don't want you to come to Tennessee, I just want you to be able to be creative anywhere. And then he asked her out to dinner, which she was like, oh, he likes me not, he likes me, he likes me not, he likes me, he likes me not. She can't really even put her finger on it, right? But Jabari invites her out to dinner. So they go to dinner. When she brings him back to his hotel from dinner, she's expecting to park and go in, and he is not having that. Now, she's not saying, I want to do it. I want to know more about how you feel about me. She's trying to read his signals. Well, all his signals are ambiguous and not anything that she could put her finger on necessarily and say, aha. And so when they have a conversation, which is good, she feels like we're friends. When he goes in for the kiss and gives her a kiss on the cheek or the forehead, one of them, she's just like, are you kidding me? Are you for real? Do you see all of this? Do you see all of this? And she looked good. He got on out. He told her not to party. He got on out. Well, she is conflustered. So when she gets back to the house, she goes straight to talk to Gigi about it. And it's a really, really good conversation. The sisters get a chance to talk. We don't really see them, in this really sisterly fashion, hardly ever. So this is a really, really good scene where they talk about both of them being frustrated and not getting anywhere that night because Darius walked out and Jabari is acting oblivious. Slow down, Charity. Slow down. It's okay to date somebody for a while, all right? You don't have to make him your next husband tomorrow, all right? Slow down. Turn that hum down. Let's talk about Sophia and Zora. Sophia and Zora have to go to a practice dinner for the cotillion thing where they are going to learn table manners and all of that stuff. This is all in preparation for this big cotillion situation. Well, Sophia is frustrated with Zora because Zora is constantly on the phone with Isaiah. Well, what she doesn't know is that Isaiah's been coming over after school, and Jacob caught Isaiah in the house with Zora with the door closed. He didn't catch him doing nothing, but he caught them with the door closed. And he politely escorted Isaiah out and told him, if you come to this house again and you don't obey the house rules, it's going to be me and you. So Zora is constantly calling Isaiah, trying to get him on the phone, trying to do damage control because she's embarrassed by what her dad did. Sophia don't understand it. She's just like, you are so wrapped up in this guy, it's ridiculous. Then we see later on, Zora, after she leaves the cotillion rehearsal dinner, she calls Isaiah, and he is so cold and so dry and so manipulative on the phone with her that what is happening here just perfectly sort of maps out how women, especially young teen girls, get trapped, even boys get trapped in relationships with people who are possessive and uh, aggressive and abusive in a very, very cunning, manipulative way. They seem like they have fun, they have a good time, but because she was at that dinner and she didn't answer his texts or his phone calls, he has now withdrawn his love and affection. And now this makes her feel like she's got to do twice as much to win that love and affection back. And this is how it's going to go until she gets the wake up call and realizes that she is in the hands or the snare of, basically an abuser. It's all sad. I see it playing out. It's all sad. All right. Now, so let's talk about our heavy hitters. That's Bishop um, and Lady May, as well as Jacob and Kerissa. All right. So Bishop goes over to talk to Skanks, and he basically lets him know, keep my name out your mouth, keep my church name out your mouth, okay? And basically just tells him you scumbucky, you low down, and whatever's going on with you in this purple parade that you leading. That was a little bit homophobic, but it was funny. This purple parade that you lead is I don't want to be any parts of it. I don't want any parts of that at all. Now, this is prior to his conversation with Grace. Skanks, basically tells him to leave and get out. Well, when he was coming into Skanks' office, he sees a dude that Skanks is arguing with. Skanks owed this man money. Well, he owed a man's boss money. And um he's trying to make a deal with the guy. So when Bishop walks in, of course, he tries to play it all off. And the guy walks by, but Bishop knows that this guy is not necessarily saints, right? So he gets done with old Basie, and he's back at the office, and he's trying to tell Lady May about it. Lady May's mind is working. She's working. She got a lot of irons in the fire. She got a lot of she got a lot of things she handling right now. This Skanks thing is one of them. She got this Rachel Cross situation, so she half listening in and out of it, trying to figure out what she gonna do. He wants to tell a story, and she's like, duh, 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 duh. Remember the other night at dinner when Kerissa was trying to tell her something, and he said, and Jacob cut her off. She said, yeah, we need to go over there and figure out what's going on with Basie Skanks. Go to dinner. We need to go over there and talk to Jacob and see what's going on. Well, Bishop want to go to dinner, and she's like, to the parsonage, and he is like, yeah. So she's like, yeah, I agree. In comes the secretary. Secretary comes in, and secretary says Rachel Cross is on the phone. Well, he thinks maybe Lady May might get upset, but Lady May got some things in the works. So he said, well, tell her I call her back. No. You take it. I'm going to have lunch with Jacinta. What's going on with you and Jacinta? She was like, oh, nothing. I invited her to be one of the honorees at our Women's Day, just to thank her for getting the Greenleaf girls in. He was like, is there not anything your hand is not in? And she is just like, I'm just doing my part. And I'm like, very little, Bishop. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled. He gets on the phone with Rachel Cross and call me James. I was like, okay. So Lady May goes over and she has brunch with Jacinta. And after inviting her to be an honoree at the Women's Day, she gets it very slickly. She finds out that Rachel Cross left New Redeemer Church because of some sort of salacious scandal. Now she plays none the wiser with Jacinta. She pretends as though she knows everything that's going on altogether. Even Jacinta gets Lady May to swear to secrecy that she knows, because Rachel Cross don't know that Jacinta know that she was messing with the pastor, or trying to mess with the pastor, and it caused a big scandal. But now the truth is out. Lady May got just the nugget she need. But she put a pin in it. She don't run, go tell. She don't get hot and fired up. She put a pin in it. I got a feeling this gonna be a part of the season finale. But I digress. Lady May, Bishop talking to Rachel Cross, and he is uh basically telling her the whole story about what happened with Skanks. And she is eating every little tidbit up, every little niblet up. She is just listening to every word. She's hanging off every word. And that's what he want. When he was trying to tell Lady May, she was like, broad strokes, broad strokes. Well, now he got a young chickadee that's listening to everything, and he is eating it all up. He's playing right into her hands. But Lady May, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't even worry about it. Let's talk about Kerissa and Jacob. Now, Kerissa and Jacob still having electrical trouble with the house. And of course, y'all know Kerissa, I think Kerissa is a good woman. I think she's a good mom and a good wife. except for the fact that Kerissa is a nagger and a complainer and a negative Nelly. And I can already tell y'all what she's saying. I know women like Kerissa. I've been to college. I got a degree. I could, you know what I'm saying? I could have this, that, and the third. I'm not trying to live like this. I'm not trying to live beyond my means like this. I can keep the house going with my salary, but we need to do some things, some serious things around this house, and we can't do it. You need to get a job. You need to get a job, which I agree with. Jacob does need income. All right. But she want him to go out today, like right now, go and get a job. All right. And he's just like, I got a job. And she's just, no, you need to get a real job. And when she first says it, I understand what she's saying, and I agree with her. He does need to get a job. But he was there to catch Isaiah there in the house with Zora. So he wouldn't have been able to find that out if he wasn't at home, and he does feel passionately about what he has going on. Well, later on, after Lady May and Bishop come over, they come over to have dinner, and of course, they want to hit him up with the 1-2 about Skanks. Like, what's going on with Skanks? Like, what's the dealio with Skanks? And Kerissa wants to talk about it, but Jacob has decided. I gave him my word. I wouldn't discuss it. I'm not. He backs it up with scripture. Of course, Lady May and Bishop are like, okay, all right, well, we respect that. So when they get ready to leave for dinner, and Bishop and Kerissa are standing there, Lady May and Jacob are standing there. Kerissa wants to pull Bishop aside to ask him about the hot water heater, the electrical box, and all of that. I thought she was going to have him look at it, but apparently she was going to ask him for money. Well, Jacob cut her off, said, don't do that. Don't do that. And the parents tried to get him to be quiet and let her talk, but he said, no, I'm sorry. We talked about this earlier, and no, don't do that. So when the bishop and Lady May leave, he tells her, I asked you not to do that. I asked you not to do that. We're going to figure this out. Well, how are we going to figure this out? How else we going to get the money? We need the money now. And you living in this dream fantasy world, and we got money in the bank from the GoFundMe. And you don't even want to touch that. What are we supposed to do? What kind of man has a woman, his wife and his children in the dark, waking up in the dark? And he is just like, listen, back when I was cheating on you, I was out there creeping. I took this from you. I took this nagging and this disrespect for you, this disregard from you, because I felt like I earned that. I deserved that because I wasn't doing right. I mean, she is just like, very, very indignant. The things that he was saying would have made me feel convicted, but it didn't. It just made her more indignant because she just like, who you think you're talking to? I run this here. But Jacob was like, no, 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 no. That's the look on her face. That's what the look on her face said. But Jacob was like, no, no, no. You've always done this. But now I'm doing what God's word says. I'm following the leading of the Lord. Why can't you just have faith? Why can't you just believe in me? Why can't you just trust? Trust me, trust the Lord, and just wait, just be still and not continue on, because every chance she gets to mention the electrical system to anybody, she does. And it makes it look like he's not handling his business. And as a wife, you don't need to be caught doing that, right? So he tells her, you need to be focused on your daughter. She needs you more than anything. Okay, and let me handle this. Um, I'm on my way to bed. He walks off and goes to bed, and she is just standing there. Like, later on, we see her go and talk to Lady May and Bishop. And this is the end of the episode. It's not the end for us, but towards the end of the episode, the last scene is where Kerissa goes in and she tells the whole story to Lady May and Bishop. They want to know if she can prove it, because they're going to use this as arsenal against Skanks. All right. Now, she ain't thought about what Jacob is going to do when he finds out that she has gone and done something he has directly told her not to do. He explained to her what that meant to him and what that meant to him spiritually, not to do that. And she did it anyway. You see what I'm saying? This how you run a good man off. Now, I'm not saying he perfect, but neither is she. That whole conversation was so good, you guys. Ooh, he let her have it. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you guys my my prediction. We've only got a few more episodes left. Queen Sugar comes back in October. October, I think, 4th and 5th. It's going to be a 2-night premiere. October is nowhere. Even though September has not gotten here yet, October is nowhere. So we've only got a little while with Greenleaf. Everything is coming to head. These are my predictions. I think Skanks is going to end up dead. And I think we're going to have to figure out who killed Skanks. All right, that's what I think. I think Zora is going to either end up pregnant or severely, severely, severely hurt, and that's going to be an issue. The last but not least, I do think Aaron and I think Kevin are gonna come back. And I think they're gonna come back as a couple. We also gonna get a chance to see what is going on with Aaron's daddy and Lady May in the next episode. So you guys keep your eyes peeled for that. What's your predictions on this episode? What do you guys think is coming up for these next few episodes? What is going to be the crescendo of this season? Y'all tell me what y'all think. I think it's going to be the death of Skanks. I really, really do. I can see where it's brewing. But y'all know we love to hash it out down below. So let's talk about it down below. You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, mwah, aha!